And good evening, everyone. Welcome to another exciting Saturday Night Winestream and another exciting episode of Drink with Rick. I'm Rick, and as if you didn't know, who else would I be? Well, so I am. And tonight we're going to try something completely different. This is something that this is a type of grape I've never tried before that I am aware of. And I'm pretty excited to try it tonight. I've heard some really interesting things about it. So we're going to open up and give it a fair tasting review. It was actually a wine that was given to me by some friends of mine. And they said, here, they gave it to me as a gift. And they said, here, why don't you try this and review it on the show? We gave this to you specifically so you can review it. And I thought, well, hey, why not? Why not? So that's what we're going to do tonight. Also, we're going to have, this is also something very, very different. We're also going to try a rainbow sherbet ale. Yes, you heard me correctly. A rainbow sherbet ale. We'll see what that's like. And for the first time, I'm going to review a soda. Now, you would think that, okay, a soda. Where are we going? At first, he's doing coffee, and now he's doing soda. What's next? Water? Maybe not yet, but but I will say that
Good evening.
I will say that this is a very, very different kind of soda, and it was also given to me for a fair and an honest review. So I'm going to give that a fair review and to try it out. This is going to be very, very interesting. A honey soda. That's right. A honey soda. So we'll see how that works out. All right. If you're joining me for the first time or for the 253rd time, I know I had to check my show notes. I've lost count here. If you're joining me now for the first time or the 253rd time, this is a stream of consciousness kind of show. And I do have show notes, as always. They're right here. See they're different from last week's show notes. They are. Well, I could show last week's to compare it with, but I don't have them with me right now. But see, we don't go by this verbatim. I just use it as a general guide. This show is not scripted. But it's just a general guide to kind of keep us sort of keep things going, just kind of keep the show moving, because the show's not about me at all. I tell you stories, and you can ask questions. One of those ask me almost anything kind of things, but the show's not about me. The show's somewhat about the wine and the other beverages that we taste, but the show's really about you and me getting together on a Saturday night, a nice, quiet, relaxing Saturday night. Hopefully it is one where you are. It is kind of one here. Let's hope it stays that way. Knock on wood. Okay. And just getting together and having a good time. Meeting new friends, meeting with old friends, getting reacquainted with old friends, and just kicking back and relaxing, having a great time. Now, you can join in the chats. We are live on the chats, and I'll show you the chats in a minute. But let me just give you a couple of reminders. One, we don't talk about politics. We don't talk about religion on the show. We don't talk about things that drive people apart, and we don't talk about things that are not safe for work, pretty much, not family safe, because this is a family-friendly show. We talk about things that bring people together, as wine does. Now, if you want to get in on the chats live, we are live on, let's see, let me pull this up here. There we go. We're live on our Facebook page. Facebook page is facebook.com/drinkwithrick. We are live on Odyssey. Odyssey is at drinkwithrick, and the number 7. You go to odyssey.com first, and then you can type all that in. Rumble, we are on Rumble, rumble.com, and that would, you just going to type in Drink with Rick, do a search for it. It'll pop up somewhere. Twitch, of course, you can find that immediately. Go to twitch.tv, and you can find it at Drink with Rick, Drink with Rick and the number 1, no colon in there. Drink with Rick 1. That's the name of the channel. On YouTube is youtube.com/@drinkwithrick, and we are on X. We are live on X at Drink with Rick. Okay, at Drink with Rick and X.com. So we are on those 6 venues live. Also, you can watch us live on the website at drinkwithrick.com. Now, we don't have a live chat going there, but if you click on tonight's episode for the show, you'll see, go down and you can see a leave a comment box. You can leave a comment in the box there, send it off to me, and I will respond in kind. It won't be right away, but it will be after the show, and then I can read the comments on the next episode. And of course, you can, if you can't watch now live and you can't watch later on any of these venues that I mentioned, you can subscribe to the podcast. The podcast goes out at Monday nights at 10 p.m. Eastern. 10 p.m. Eastern on Monday nights. And you can subscribe in any of these venues, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, Blueberry.com, podcastindex.org, TuneIn, Deezer Radio via RSS, and by email. Now, if you click on this button that says by email, those of you who can see it right now, you will get another page with a little box there. It says enter email. Just type in your email address in the box, click the blue subscribe button, and you will get the latest episode of Drink with Rick, the podcast, as soon as it drops, and no salesman will call. And it's just for the show. It's just for the podcast. That's all. And of course, you can buy me coffee if you want, or 2 or 3 or 5 or whatever. They help support the show. They don't really pay the bills too much, but they help offset some of the costs, and that is much appreciated. For those of you who have been doing that, I really appreciate your support on that. That really, you have no idea. That helps a lot, tremendously. And of course, look, if you can't afford to do it, don't worry about it. There's no rule about this is a free show. And there's no rule about it, but I would ask that if you can support me also by just, liking and subscribing to the Facebook page and the Odyssey channel and Rumble and Twitch and YouTube and X, and subscribe and like and ring the bell and all that stuff, whatever they do over there on those channels. And that also really supports the show. It does help. So it's much appreciated if you do. But once again, there's no hard and fast rule about doing any of that. And if you don't want to, it's fine too. And as long as you just getting together and enjoying the show, that's the important thing. Just enjoy the show. Okay. All right. So we're going to show you what we've got here for the beverages tonight, the libations. But before we do that, let's get into the chats and find out who's in the chats tonight. My good friend Ed is in the chat on Facebook. Ed says all aboard, and all aboard. Ed, I don't have a good train whistle here. I should get one. I don't have a good train. What's the closest thing to have that is this.
Oh yeah.
That's the closest thing I have, and also
Good
this.
evening.
So, I don't use the good evening one very much. I should use that more, but I keep forgetting about that. And I'm checking all the chats and all the other venues, and it looks like we're all good there. And folks are watching. I know folks are watching there, and especially on Twitch. Jump in the chat and say hi. Don't be afraid to do that. It's quite all right if you do. No spamming, please, though. But you can. You can jump in the chats and say hi, and just tell me how things are going on with you and how your Saturday night is going, or what you're drinking or what you're not drinking. I'm going to have a little sip of water here to wet the palate just a little bit. Okay, a lot of water. And we'll get right to, and we'll get right to the show. All right, so this is what we're drinking tonight. Let me pull this up. This is the wine. It's called a Bordy, and this is a combination of two different grapes. It's a Chambourcin and a Merlot. It's that kind of a blend. And you know what? Let me. I've got it down here in my official Drink with Rick ice bucket. Let's go back to that for just a second. The official Drink with Rick ice bucket, because it said you're supposed to cool it down. It's supposed to serve it chilled. I did do my research tonight. I did, and so that's what I've got this out here. There we go, all over the desk. All right, so let's put that away for now. Let me show you this once again. It is called Bordy. Bordy Vineyards is the name of the vineyard. And it's a Chambourcin and Merlot blend. This is a 2022 vintage. And by the way, this is grown and vinted in the state of Maryland. In Maryland, this is produced in Maryland, USA. And that's the front. Let me read the back here. I'm going to read the back here. It says, Bordy Vineyards, 80% Chambourcin, 20% Merlot. This is from Maryland in 2022. And it says, enjoy Chambourcin Merlot's light body and pleasingly sweet finish with soft cheeses, leg of lamb, and honey-glazed pork roast. The rich history of the Chesapeake region has been shared by the R.B. Deford family for 12 generations. I don't know if it's Deford or DeFord. It might be DeFord. The Mallard is a regal sight in wetlands throughout the Chesapeake Bay watershed during the fall, winter, and early spring. So during the fall, winter, and early spring, that's the Mallard. I'm assuming they're talking about the duck. Bordy.com, produced and bottled by Bordy Vineyards, and that's in Long Green Pike and Hides, Maryland, USA. And there is 13% ABV in this 750 milliliter bottle of wine. So that's what we have going on there. So I'm going to go ahead and open this. This should be relatively simple to open. And before I do, let me check the chats one more time. I've got a brand new, during the last season, very end of the last season, my little surveillance earpiece here broke right there, and I had to go get a new one, and it hasn't really been fitting very well. And if you've noticed in the last couple episodes, it's been not sitting too well in my ear for some reason. I don't know. Maybe I have to get it. Maybe it's up. I don't know. It's weird. Anyway, so let's see what we've got going on in the chats. And Ed, how are you doing this evening, Ed? Hope you're doing very well on this Saturday night. And this is going to be interesting. Try this ale. I was thinking about you the other day. I was looking at this ale, and I thought, because Ed and I used to share beer together. I mean, we didn't share the same beer. We had beers. Way back in the day, we used to have a few beers and sit back after work and just shoot the breeze, more or less. And because we needed the breeze because it was pretty darn hot in Florida. So any breeze that we could shoot across was welcome. I don't know. This just the dad jokes are getting worse, aren't they? That's not the one I want. I want this one. Oh well. All right, so Where are we? Well, what else we got going on here in the chats? Okay, there's no reason to stop the show. I haven't any wine yet. Let's go ahead and have the wine so that I don't have any excuse when I do mix up my merds. And later on in the show, I've got to get this thing fixed. Brand new, and it's not. I don't know. Anyway, so here we are with the wine. I've got the wine. I have the wine right here. And this should be simple to open because it's just a simple screw cap. There we go. And then I have my aerator, my trusty aerator. And I don't know if there's going to be any wine displacement here. Okay, this is wine. It's not water. All right, looks like we're good. All right, and to hold the glass, I have my genuine Drink with Rick, official Drink with Rick coaster. And to hold the grape nectar, I have my genuine Galway Irish crystal glass, given to me by my employers at buy2airradios.com. Let's go ahead and pour a little bit of this grape nectar into the glass. Just a little bit there. All right, we'll set that aside. And I'm going to let it breathe here. We need to do the swirl. The traditional Drink with Rick swirl. And to do that, we're going to swirl to the official Drink with Rick swirl music, which is, of course, more cowbell. More cowbell. All right, we've got the swirl done. Let's set that aside for just a moment. And while it's breathing and becoming oxygenated, let's go ahead and learn a little bit more about this wine. Now, I've got to pull that information back up because I did have that bookmarked in my settings. And you know what? We're going to learn a bit about the grape as well. We're going to have a little bit of a kind of an introduction to the Chambourcin grape, which should be very interesting, very enlightening. Let's see. I've got a little bit of information up here on the wine. Let me pull some of this up here. We've got some local prices. And I went to the Bordy Vineyards website, which is a very interesting site to visit. Whoops, open up too many of these. All right. Getting ahead of myself. All right. Where is my... there it is, the pricing. I'm going to pull up the pricing for it. There we go. Not that there's that much to say about the pricing. But you see, once again, this bottle of wine was given to me as a gift by my good friends, Mark and Junie. And they came down to visit us. They came to visit us for a night. And that was last month, I believe, at the end of last month. And they brought a really nice gift. And that was this Bordy Estates. And they said, I want you to review this wine. We want you to review this wine for us. So I said, yes, I will. And that's what we're doing tonight. So that's what's going on there. Okay, anyway, where was I? Oh, yes, we're learning some more about this wine. Okay, so I went to the the Bordy Vineyards Estates wine website, and they have a wine club, which I did not join, but they have a list of wines. They have some very interesting wines listed there, and one of these is the Chambourcin-Merlot. And they have a price of $19 on it. But I'm going to read this right from their website here, just so you'll know. It's kind of like their own sheet on it, their own text sheet or whatever we call it. It says this wine has a beautiful ruby hue and inviting aromas of cherry and raspberry. It is smooth with a pleasing sweetness for easy drinking. Easy sweetness for what? A sweetness for easy drinking. Uh-oh. Now, why did I say uh-oh? Well, that's because, if you know me, I'm really a dry wine drinker. I'm not really into sweet wines. And I do, occasionally do have sweet wine, but I do prefer the dry reds. And I like dry whites too, and dry rosés, but I generally prefer them the dry. If they're too sweet, I have a difficult time with them. But a little bit of sweetness is okay. So how sweet is sweet with this wine? I don't know. I honestly don't know. But we're going to find out, and I will give it a fair shot. I'll give it a fair review. It says, reading from their website, it's wines.bordy.com if you want to follow along. It says, this sweetheart blend of Chambourcin and Merlot grapes shows their appealing fruit aromas to best advantage and offers a light flavor and residual sweetness to round out the palate. Wow, that's sweetness. That's sweetness. Chambourcin-Merlot is great company at the dinner table, at a picnic, or sipped by itself in summertime. Break ranks with the serious crowd and serve slightly chilled. Well, that's what we're doing tonight. We're serving slightly chilled because that was the recommendation from the site, was to serve it slightly chilled. So that's what we're going to do. Now, I checked around on a couple other sites. I looked around. It's listed in a few places. Vivino has it listed. Now, and the price that they have on their website, I think I mentioned their price was $19 for a bottle, or a 750 milliliter bottle of this wine. I checked around online in other places. Vivino does have it listed. They give it 3.9 stars out of 5 based on all the vintages. And they give it a median price of $17.99 a bottle. I checked also on WineSearcher. WineSearcher has it listed for average price of about $16 a bottle. And they have it in Maryland. They have it in a few places. Maryland in Aberdeen. This is Beards Hill Liquors in Aberdeen. It's $12.74 a bottle. And these are excluding sales tax, no sales tax. Total Wine in Laurel Corridor in Maryland is $13.99, and Creston Wine and Spirits in Wilmington, Delaware, $13.99. And this looks like. Let's see. That looks pretty much close to about the price it's going for in most places, $13 to $14. Jason's Wine and Spirits in Maryland, Elliott City, $14.99. Euro Liquors in Owings Mills, Maryland. I've been to Owings Mills numerous times. Very interesting area there. $16.99 a bottle. Spend a little time around Owings Mills. Edgewater Liquors in Maryland, $16.99. I think most of these are $16.99. What do we have here? Ocean City, Maryland. That's West O Bottle Shop and Bar in Ocean City, Maryland, $17.99. So it goes up. What's the most expensive? Total Wine and More in Towson Beltway. Is it Towson? Towson? I don't know. Maryland. That's $20.99 a bottle. That seems to be about pretty close to what the Bordy site is putting up there for. But I can't tell you what I paid for it because I didn't pay anything for it. It was given to me as a gift, and that's what we're going to try it out tonight. So that kind of gives me a general idea of what it is. Somewhere between $13.99 and $20 a bottle. So that sounds good. Hopefully it's worth all of that and more. And we'll give it a try. Let me check the chats one more time before we get into sipping the wine and tasting it. We are on X, by the way, and you can watch live on X and in all these venues. All All right, let me give this a little bit of a sniff. Yeah, lots of cherry in this wine. Lots of cherry. Smells a little bit like raspberry too. Let's give it a taste. Well, it's definitely sweet on the tongue, but it's not a syrupy, sickening syrupy sweetness that I was concerned about. Not like that at all. It's kind of dry, not super dry, but a little dry. But it does have a definite sweetness on the tongue, and just a little bit of a spark. Yeah, it's actually kind of medium balanced, and there are a few tannins in this wine on the first taste. But yeah, a little bit. But what got to me was that it's a little bit sweet, but it's not it's not a sickening sweetness. It's actually a light, kind of a, I don't know how else to say it, but almost a pleasant type of sweetness to it. And it's kind of dry, but it does have this sweetness on the tongue. Now it does go down fairly smooth. I'm going to have a little bit more of this. It does go down fairly smooth. It has kind of a lingering finish. It does have a lingering finish to it, but it's not bad. Kind of a pleasant, lingering finish or aftertaste. Not bad, actually. And I can see why it's recommended to be chilled, because I think this tastes. I think with the sweetness there, I think that it really works better if the wine is chilled rather than if it's not. If it's just served at room temperature, it's actually a fairly easy drinking wine. I would say this is probably more of a dessert wine, but they do recommend, the Bordy website does recommend it with some foods, and of course I do have some foods to pair it with. Let's pull camera 3 here. I do have a selection of foods that I selected myself to pair it with, such as they are. But I didn't really. I didn't really have what they suggested on the website. What they suggested that I pair this with, or in general, the general pairing for this wine would be. Let me pull up their website once again so I can get the particulars. Okay, they say suggested food pairings, primarily 3. Suggested food pairings are beef stroganoff, sour beef and dumplings, and Swedish meatballs. Now, I don't have any of those 3 items, and it's not for lack of trying, because my lovely wife Chi and I did take a trip down to our local Trader Joe's today and went looking for beef stroganoff and Swedish meatballs. Now, I did not think I was going to find any sour beef and dumplings, and to be honest, I've never really heard of sour beef and dumplings. But really,
you're kidding.
Sour beef and dumplings, I don't know. I've never heard. It's a thing, I guess. I don't know. I've never heard of sour beef. Has anyone else had sour beef and dumplings before? That's something I'm not familiar with at all. I'm really not. So if anyone has, jump in the chats to let me know. It's news to me. New tasting experience. And not that I wouldn't try it. I wouldn't. I mean, I'd try it, but it doesn't sound like my first choice of, if I was presented with a menu at a restaurant, and one of the items on the menu was sour beef and dumplings, I don't think that would be my first choice. However, this is what we have on the plate tonight, we have some, and I checked around and said that it's supposed to go decent with some cheeses, but it was also mentioned that this wine could be consumed on its own as a dessert wine. And from some of the reviews that I sort of skimmed through, that seemed to be what some of the reviewers said as well. And these are not professional reviewers; they're just every people like you and me. It's just most of us, unless you watching right now, one of you watching is a sommelier of some sort or a wine expert, in which case you would be in the minority on that, because I'm not one. I'm just an everyman who likes to drink wine. So there you go. It is a very smooth wine. I'll have to say that. It's smooth. I don't know that I would want to drink a whole bottle of this, especially on my own. But it's pleasant to drink, in spite of the fact that it's sweet. So Well, let's go back to the camera 3 and let's try it with a couple of foods. And of course, I did not bring a fork with me. No, I did not bring a fork with me. I didn't bring a fork with me. I was one. I thought I had thought of everything, but I guess not. All right, so I'm going to have to use. Let's try to show you with a regular meatball, because that's what we have. That's what we have. So it's a regular meatball. And by the way, they're good meatballs. And they're good. They're kind of cold now. This is a good meatball. These either come from Sam's in a big bag or from Trader Joe's in a smaller bag. I'm not sure. Maybe if my lovely wife, she can tell me. It's a good meatball. It's not a Swedish meatball, but it's kind of as close as I'm going to get to one. All right, let's try it. Actually, it's not bad with the meatball. It does add a sweetness to the meatball. I'm not sure how to take the sweetness of the wine with a beef meatball, because usually I prefer the dry reds and ones with when I'm eating meat, one with a fair amount of tannin in it. At least medium tannins, and this does have some tannin in it. It's not strong. They're not strong tannins. They're somewhat light to medium, but I think it's the sweetness of the wine that kind of overpowers that a little bit, I think. Just a little bit. Yeah. Well, let's go back. Let me clear the palate for just a moment. And we'll go back to camera 3. We'll have some fun tonight. We're gonna try a few things here. Let's. You know what? I didn't really want to. That's why I didn't want to grab it, but because I forgot the fork. But let's go ahead and try it with as messy as it is. Let's try it with the meatball. This is with spaghetti sauce on it. Yes, this was leftovers, by the way. We had it for dinner. And they're good. It's a good meatball. And it's a messy meatball. Let's see if I can. Fortunately, I keep some paper towels nearby for just such an occasion. Mostly because I'm just a messy guy. Which my wife can attest to. It's not too bad with the. It's not bad with it, except I think with the tomato sauce, not my thing. This probably would be better with a beef stroganoff or a Swedish meatball. I think with a Swedish meatball, it would probably be okay. It's the sweetness factor. It really is. I don't think I'm going to try it with the olives tonight. I think the olives really need to go back to camera 3. The olives, I think, need a drier, much drier red. It's not sweet at all. So we'll go ahead and clear the palate. Now here's the tricky part, the cheese. I don't know. The cheese with this wine, go back to camera 3. We'll try it with a little bit of the this is the Colby Jack cheese. And I guess I'm kind of taking a chance on this one. Because, once again, I don't know if this is really a cheese kind of wine. Maybe for some people. But again, I prefer the drier reds. It's good cheese, though. So it's okay. It's not bad. If you like sweet reds to go with a cheese, not my thing. But if you do like sweeter reds to go with a cheese, you might like this. It's actually the wine is lighter fare, so it's not bad. And clear the palate one more time. All right. I don't know that this is going to go well with a hard cheese. We're going to give it a shot. I'm not even going to attempt to try it with the olives, but we'll try it. Now this cheese, for those of you who are in the know from previous episodes, this cheese is the whoops, I'm getting it all over the place here. It's getting it everywhere. This is the creamy Toscana cheese with Merlot, not Merlot, with Syrah. There is one with Merlot, but this one is the creamy Toscana cheese soaked in the Trader Joe's Coastal Syrah. And I thought for a long time, it would just had some Syrah in it or on the edges, but it turns out, checking the label just recently, that it's actually soaked in the Coastal Syrah. And I really do like this cheese. So we're going to try that. And it's a nice, tasty cheese. And if you have a Trader Joe's in your area and you like cheeses like this, you'll like this. Yeah. Okay, that's not bad. No, that's okay. That's not bad at all. No, I could do this with a little bit of cheese. That's fine. All right. So having said that, I think the wine is pretty decent. Once again, it's not my first choice for a wine, but if I was going to go for a sweet red, I would probably choose this over a number of other sweet reds that I've had. And it's not really sweet red. It's just kind of a sweet red, kind of a little bit. But we are going to learn about this Chambourcin grape because this grape is kind of new to me. I don't recall ever having this grape before, but apparently it's very prevalent in a number of countries, especially here in the U.S. And it's a fairly recently developed grape. And we'll find out. We'll learn a little bit more about that in just a little bit. But until, you know what I forgot? Yes, I know what I forgot. I can't believe I'm wearing this shirt. I was going to wear the shirt before the show, and I forgot to put on my regular shirt. I'm not pitching Microsoft, okay? That's yeah, not pitching Microsoft. But I just happen to be wearing the shirt. I'm going to take a little bit of a short break while we're doing that, so I can go put on my official Drink with Rick sweater because I forgot to do that tonight. We can't start the show over. It's too late for that. First time for everything. I forgot to put on the official Drink with Rick sweater. Who else noticed that besides me? And it took me 40 minutes before I did. All right. Well, we're going to take a short little break. And while we're doing that, I'm going to show a short little show. And let me pull up that. Let me put up that film and video. Yeah, we got the film. Let's see. What can we show? I think we can show. I just have to have something queued up here real quick. And let me see what I can show here. Oh, here we go. Let's do the Cadillac Ranch, because I haven't showed that one in a while. So we can do the Cadillac Ranch. Here's the Cadillac Ranch.
In a cornfield, just outside Amarillo, Texas, lies a rather unique piece of art. It is known as the Cadillac Ranch. It was created by a rather unique artist, whose name escapes me right offhand, and I would just as soon forget. During our journey across the West, someone suggested that we stop at the Cadillac Ranch. So we did. And boy, were we surprised. 10 bright pink Cadillacs were stuck in the middle of the ground, in the middle of a cornfield, just outside Amarillo, Texas. And as we gazed at this wonder, we asked ourselves, what color were they under the ground?
Well, here we are at the Cadillac Ranch, just outside of Amarillo, Texas. And as you can see behind me, there are 10 bright pink Cadillacs stuck in the ground. Yep, here we are, the Cadillac Ranch. 10 big Cadillacs just sitting there. 10 Cadillacs. The question is, why? Why are they sitting here? Out here in the middle of a field outside of Amarillo, Texas, with nothing around it but grass and sky and the cold wind. The question is, why am I out here? Damn, it's cold out here. Yep. Here we are. The Cadillac Ranch. What the hell am I doing here?
We stayed for approximately 10 minutes. After we had left, we realized that we'd completely wasted our time. Perhaps you can come to the Cadillac Ranch someday and waste your time too.
We're back. And this time I have my shirt on. I mean my sweater on. I don't know what I was thinking. I was doing my show prep and I was so excited about getting started on the show that I completely forgot to put on my sweater. Maybe I should start doing a Mr. Rogers kind of thing where I just walk in with a regular shirt and then I put the sweater on later. do the shoes, taking off the formal shoes and putting on the sneakers and all that bit. I think that was his trademark, not mine. Anyway, so we're back, and that was the Cadillac Ranch. That was something I shot some years ago when my buddies and I went on a trip to cross country out west. We were going out west and visiting all those places out there that we wanted to visit, from Florida to all the way to California and back. So anyway, where was I? Okay, so the wine. The wine is pretty decent. I like it so far. It's not. I wouldn't say I'm super excited about it, but because it's a sweet wine. But I do like it, and it's kind of nice. So we'll let it open up some more, and we'll try some more of it as we move along. But we have some other things to try as well. So let's get on to that. But before we do that, let's get to the national days, because it's time to toast. Yes, it's time to toast the national days. So here we go with the national days. Where's my national day? Oh, I do have it up there, don't we? Okay. And time to toast the national days. So this week, not a whole lot going on for national days. We do have a few. By the way, these national days are courtesy of nationaldaycalendar.com. Nationaldaycalendar.com is Marlo Anderson's site. He is the CEO and curator of all these national days. And Marlo, thank you very much. And I'm still not, I still wasn't chosen as a National Day ambassador, but hey, that's okay. We'll do the national days anyway. Okay, so here are the national days for this weekend. November 16th, which is today, for another hour and 7 minutes. November 16th, 2024 is International Check Your Wipers Day. Yes, that's right. Check Your Wipers Day. We should all check our wipers whenever a chance. I'm making light of this, but it's important to do that because, wipers, we're talking about wipers on the car, windshield wipers. They don't last forever. They start getting cracked and they start coming apart and things like that. And then it becomes kind of hazardous to drive around in the rain. And you don't really realize it until the next time it starts pouring and you're out on the highway driving around at 70 miles an hour and you turn on your wipers and it's a big and you can't really see where you're going, and it's dangerous, and it's just not good all around. Now, in the state of North Carolina, we have annual inspections, and that's one of the things they inspect for. And if your wipers are not up to snuff, they will not pass you on the inspection until they are. So usually it's an opportunity to go into the auto shop, and when they're doing the test or when they're doing the inspection, they look at it and say, "Oh, your wipers are no good, but we can put some on real quick for you so you can pass inspection. They're only like $20 a piece or something, twice what you'd pay for them." Actually, that used to be the case, but I found out the last time that I replaced my wipers, and I did it before inspection, by the way. I just saw the wipers were not good, so I went ahead on my own and replace the wipers. But it turns out that the wipers that I use in my car were $16 to $18 a piece. So that's man, everything's just gone up in price. Wow. So anyway, and that's for a piece, and you need two on the front, and some people have one on the back and that sort of thing. So before you're done, you're like $50-$60 into wipers. So anyway, where was I going with this? Okay, so yeah, it's International Check Your Wipers Day, November 16th. So you should check your wipers periodically. That is a good idea to do that. I'll drink to that. All right. Today is also National Indiana Day. Yes, it is absolutely, it is National Indiana Day. And I just took off my, what happened to my, there we go. Put my toasting thing there. It's National Indiana Day. I didn't have anything for that, for National Indiana Day, but it's,
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to read this from nationaldatecalendar.com. Founded in 2017 by National Day Calendar to celebrate Indiana as the 19th state to join the Union. So we've been counting them up. 19th state joining the Union. And that's what we're celebrating National Indiana Day for, is the 19th date to join the Union. And National Day Calendar has been doing this with honoring each state in the order that they joined the Union. And we did do that with the first state to join the Union, first 3 or 4 states before we went off on our season break. We're picking up again with the 19th state. Here's to National Indiana Day. I will drink to that. National Indiana Day. It's also National Button Day. Yes, it is National Button Day. Okay, Bill. I don't know what that has to do with Roadkill Bill over there, but it is National Button Day all day for the rest of this day, which is only about an hour and 3 minutes long to go. So here's the National Button Day. By the way, I have a button. Some of you may have too. Ed, you might have one of these. It's been a long time. This is the official Drink with Rick button. The official Drink with Rick button. I should be wearing this on National Button Day, shouldn't I? Well, let's put one on then. Let's put on the official Drink with Rick button on my sweater here. And as I don't stick myself with it. There you go. The official, it's not, you can't even see it there. There we go. It's National Button Day. And I've got the official Drink with Rick button on this. And yeah.
I like it. Yeah, really.
I cut him off there, didn't I? All right, so National Button Day. I'll drink to that again. Why not? It's also National Fast Food Day. Can you believe it? National Fast Food Day.
Oh, you're kidding.
And,
Oh,
no, I'm not. I'm not kidding. It's National Fast Food Day. Did anybody have any fast food today? I didn't, but here's to National Fast Food Day. I will drink to that. And we have November 17th, which will be November 17th. That's Sunday. It'll be November 17th in approximately 1 hour. Approximately. Almost 1 hour. I'm watching the clock here. Anyway, so approximately 1 hour from now, it's going to be National Butter Day. That's right. It's it's National Butter Day. And who knew that it was going to be National Butter Day? Well, I did, because I did my show prep, and let me see what I can do. Here, the National. Oh, but that's the wrong one. It's also National Homemade Bread Day. Today is National Homemade Bread Day. So, in honor of National Homemade Bread Day, I'm hitting all the buttons here. I will drink to that, National Homemade Bread Day. National Homemade Bread Day. And yes, it is also, because I really messed this up. Let me try that again. It's a National Homemade Bread Day, but it's also National Butter Day. There you go. Now we got the National Butter Day going. All right, National Butter Day. So here's to National Butter Day. I'll drink to that. Now, it's also oh goodness. Here's some bread and butter. I was going to have some bread and butter on the show, but I didn't. I didn't. But here's did you know what else it is today? It's National Baklava Day. Today is National Baklava Day, and in honor of National Baklava Day, here's some baklava. There's a picture of baklava. I love baklava. Do you like baklava? I do love baklava. I mean, that baklava is that treat with, it's a Greek treat with phyllo dough and walnuts and honey, and I mean, it's just a nice sweet treat. I love baklava. Now, here's a little baklava story for you. I realized when my lovely wife, Chi, and I were hunting around for stuff for today, for tonight's show, for food and whatever, the meatballs and all that stuff, I knew there was one more day I was missing there, but I couldn't remember which day it was until I got back here and I'm doing my show prep, and I'm like, oh, baklava. So I went down to the local supermarket here thinking, well, I could pick up some baklava for tonight's show. No, they didn't have any baklava. So I called the local Harris Teeter, our local Harris Teeter that I went to. They didn't have any baklava there. So I called the local Trader Joe's, which is down the road, and I said, do you have any baklava? And they said, well, let's check. So they put me on hold music a couple times. They came back and they said, no, we don't. So that ended my search for baklava for this evening, which I think is unfortunate, because I actually think the baklava probably would have gone okay with this wine. It might have gone okay with this wine. So here, in light of the fact that we don't have any baklava, in spite of the fact that we don't have any baklava, here is to National Baklava Day. I will drink to that. Baklava is healthy for you too. It is. It's also, we have one more national day to toast, and I didn't prepare this one, but it's also National Take a Hike Day. So if anybody tells you, hey, take a hike, well, it's a good day for it. Tomorrow should be a good day for it in some place. I don't know about in your area, but in my area, it's going to be it's supposed to be a pretty nice day tomorrow. So a little cooler, fairly cool, but it should be a good day to take a hike. So here's to National Take a Hike Day. I will drink to that. And with that, I think that does it for the national days. All right, once again, this is what we're drinking tonight. We're drinking the Bordy Vineyards. This is a Chambourcin-Merlot blend, 80% Chambourcin and 20% Merlot. And it's a pretty easy drinking wine, pretty easy to drink. But it's a little sweet for me, but it might not be too sweet for you. So I would say that's probably not a bad wine to try. It really isn't. I don't think it is. But I'll have the final review at the end of the show. And of course, we have two more items to check here, or two more to review before the end of the show. But in the meantime, let me go back to the chats and see how Ed's doing. Ed's kind of quiet tonight. And you can throw some dad jokes if you want. It's a good dad joke, good night for dad jokes. And we do have folks watching on Twitch. Please jump in and say hi. And Odyssey and on Rumble as well. And I don't know if anybody's watching on X, to be honest. I know some people watch the show last week on X, but I really didn't see a chat going. Although there is something about a chat in here, but I've never been able to figure that out yet. I really haven't, because I don't see a chat in there. All right, so that's the wine. Let's get to. We're going to learn a little bit more about this grape here before we get to the ale. Those are my show notes there. Let's learn a little bit more about the Chambord grape. And I have some information on it. And it's right, here it is. The Chambourcin grape. It's not Chambord grape. Chambord is it's a liqueur. It's the Chambourcin grape. Now, first of all, Chambourcin is, when you read it, it could be taken a few ways. Could be pronounced Chambourcin, or Chambourcin, or Chambourcin, or Chambourcin, or it could be taken a number of ways. Chambourcin. It could be taken a number of ways. I've heard it a couple ways. I've heard it online. I've heard it pronounced as Chambourcin. In French, it's Chambourcin. I watched a video with a particular wine grower, an actual wine grower, somebody who grows the grapes, and they pronounce it Chambourcin. It's pronounced Chambourcin according to them, and he mentioned it several times. He's out there in his vineyard looking at the grapes, showing off the grapes, just about ready to harvest, and he was talking about the grape, and he kept referring to it as Chambourcin. So you could pronounce it Chambourcin. I think that's how the French do it, or Chambourcin. Chambourcin, I think it's how the French pronounce it. But I think here in the States it's pronounced Chambourcin, I believe. So I've heard it both ways. So, in any case, it's wine. It's a grape. It's a wine grape. So let's go back to the grape. Let's learn a little bit about this Chambourcin grape. And I'm pulling up some information on Wikipedia here because as we all know, Wikipedia is the place for information, not not really. So, not really. So, I had another thing in here. What was that? Oh, what is this one? Oh, that's the chicken. That's a good one for Wikipedia. All right, so we're going to learn about the Chambourcin grape. So here is the what I found out on Wikipedia, and now I can't find out what I did with my. Where is it? Okay. Chambourcin grape. The Chambourcin is a variety of grapevine belonging to the Vitis genus in the flowering plant family Vitaceae. It's a French-American interspecific hybrid grape variety used for making wine. So this is a variety of red wine grape. Now, this is where it's grown. It's grown in Australia, France, North America, and Portugal. Now, the interesting thing about this grape is that it was introduced it was produced by Johannes Save, who often used Siebel hybrids he produced in the 1860s, and the grape has only been available since 1963. So that's I think it originated as an American and a French hybrid grape. And I'm going back and forth here because I can't find out where I put this where I put this thing in the system. So I'm whatever. What am I going? Where am I going with this thing? I know, stop the show. I can't find out what I did with my notes, my show notes. Oh, here it is. So I did that already. Produced by Johannes Save and available since 1963. Now, this this grape is planted in the mid-Atlantic states, including Maryland, and that's why we have this Maryland hybrid that we're drinking tonight. And the wine is known for its deep color with strong flavors. It has a good resistance to, the grape has good resistance to fungal disease, and it's increasing in popularity among German grape growers. It's considered a very productive grape with high crop yields. And again, the grape produces a deep-colored and aromatic wine. It can be made into a dry style or one with a moderate residual sugar level. Yep, moderate residual sugar level. And the thing about this grape is that they recommend that you chill this wine made of this grape, this Chambourcin grape. It's recommended that you chill it before serving. And again, it's been planted in the Mid-Atlantic region, North America, particularly in such states as New Jersey, New York, Pennsylvania. It's grown in Harrow and Ruthven, Ontario, and other places in Canada, several counties in Virginia, and in Washington, Hartford, Prince George's County, Maryland, and Calvert County, Maryland, and in Ohio as well. It's grown in New York and Pennsylvania, as I mentioned before, Michigan. It's grown throughout many states in the United States. It's a very popular grape. Now, here's the thing that I find is interesting, personal interest, is that as popular as this Chambourcin grape is, how is it that I've never really heard of it much before myself? And I drink a lot of wine, as I'm sure you know. I'm not that familiar with the Chambourcin grape. I am now. I've learned a lot about it. So, let's see. I've learned something tonight about the Chambourcin grape. And I've learned that I actually kind of like this wine. The thing is, as sweet as it is, it's not that sweet. It's kind of sweet. It is a little sweet. But I do kind of like the wine somewhat. However, it's time to put away the wine for a while. And it's time to move on to the ale. Because, well, the night isn't getting any younger, and neither am I. So let's go ahead and take a look at this ale, shall we? And Island Hayes is in the chat on YouTube, and Island Hayes says, "Evening, Rick. Good seeing you. I'm kind of falling asleep at the keyboard, LOL. I'm sipping on a 19 Crimes Cali Rosé." Okay, I know what 19 Crimes. 19 Crimes is a very interesting wine. I've had it before. I've had the, which one did I have? Did I have a cab? I think I did. And I haven't tried a rosé. I didn't know they had a rosé, but I've had a couple of the 19, at least one of the 19 Crimes wines in the past, and that's a pretty decent wine. It's a decent wine. So and it's good to see you, Island Hayes, as well. And let's see. Ed may have fallen asleep at the keyboard. I don't know. I hope not. Let's check the other chats as well and see what's going on the other chats. All right, so we're good. So let's go ahead and open up the ale because I'm excited to try this because this is what we're going to try. Let me pull up the ale here. This is the beer. Yes, this is a rainbow sherbet. It's a rainbow sherbet. It's not just any rainbow sherbet, as if there were lots of other rainbow sherbets to be had. But let's go ahead and pull this out of the official Drink with Rick ice bucket. And I have one more item in here too. I've been keeping cool. I've been keeping this one chilled as well as the wine. The wine, actually, I'm glad I chilled the wine. It was actually pretty good. we're going to try the Rainbow Sherbet. Now let's go back to the beer. It's a Rainbow Sherbet. That's how you pronounce it, sherbet. It's a sherbet. Now the question is this a sherbet? I don't know. And I've got to find the other half of this beer. There we go. There's the front. Let's go to the back. Let's look at the back. There's not a whole lot on the back, to be honest, aside from the government warning for pregnant women drinking alcohol. This is made by Triple C Brewing Company in Charlotte, North Carolina. So this is a local Charlotte brew. 5% ABV. This is a fruited sour ale with raspberry, pineapple, lime, and vanilla added, and contains lactose. Okay, that's interesting. It says you should serve it at 43 degrees, which is about what this can feels like right now. And it is a 1 pint. It's 1 pint. This is a Rainbow Sherbet fruited sour ale. Now that's important to note here. This isn't just an ale. This is a fruited, and if you can see it down the bottom, it says fruited sour ale with raspberry, pineapple, lime, and vanilla added. Brewed, I read that. Brewed and packaged by Triple C Brewing Company in Charlotte, North Carolina. So that's what we've got going on here. So we're going to go ahead and open up this ale. It should be interesting to try. Rainbow Sherbet. This is going to be no experience. So let's pop this thing open. So this is an ale. And it looks like, I thought it might be a light colored ale, but it's not exactly. Let's get a good head on this thing. There we go. Ooh. It's a nice looking head on this beer. All right, it does look like a beer. It does look like an ale, and it should, because if it didn't, I would be a little concerned, because it's supposed to be an ale. It's a little bit on the cloudy side, and of course you can follow along if you have a copy of this. You can follow along in the official Drink with Rick beer tasting notebook. And let's see, I think there's supposed to be an appearance. Okay, appearance color. Pale yellow, gold, amber, brown, ruby, and black. I think this would probably go into the gold. Not quite amber, maybe a little amber. Somewhere between gold and amber, I would think. Wouldn't you think? There we go. And the foam, thin, light, medium, or full. I'd say it's kind of light. Maybe medium. Okay. Carbonation. I haven't tried it yet. It looks fairly carbonated. Let's say medium carbonation. But let's see what it tastes like. I do use my own book. Come on. Which camera am I looking at? Let's look at this one for a while. All right. So let's give this a little bit of a whiff. It does smell like an ale, but it does smell a little bit like a kind of a candied kind of a smell. It does. A little bit like a candied smell. Rainbow Sherbet? I am not sure, but it does smell a little candied. Okay, well that's very interesting. I'm not sure what to make of that. Maybe I should have cleared the palate before after drinking the wine before I did that. I'll try to remember that later on when we taste the honey soda. Yes, honey soda. All right, let me give this another taste. This is very different. Again, it tastes a little bit weird. I know. To be honest, I came with this into this kind of excited, thinking, I love sherbet. I love Rainbow Sherbet. But to be honest, I wasn't too biased about it because I was thinking, I don't know what to make of it. It is a sour ale, not real sour, but it's kind of like a sour Skittle a little bit. When I said it smelled like a little bit like a candied flavor, I was kind of thinking Skittles a little bit. It kind of does. It kind of tastes like a. It kind of tastes like a sour Skittle. A little bit. I don't know. I'm not sure. It does. It tastes like a sour candy. So it's a little bit like a sour candy. And it's kind of a medium. It's not super strong on the taste. It's not super light on the taste. Somewhere medium. It's kind of like a medium taste to this what I'm tasting. In other words, it's not a light taste or a heavy taste. It's just kind of medium, but it's enough to kind of to set the personality of this beer, of this ale. And it's I don't know. I might drink half this thing before I can come up with a decision on whether I like it or not. What I was saying here a few moments ago was that it's there's some ales that we tried that didn't really taste at all like what they claimed to taste like, or the taste was really, really faint. It was there. It's kind of like some of the coffees we tried, where the taste there was taste of it, but it was really, really faint, not really strong. It just tasted like coffee, more or less, with just a slight taste of whatever it was, whatever flavor they were trying to claim it was. But it's not like that. It's not light at all, and it's not super heavy where it's like it's overpowering the taste, or at least at the moment it doesn't seem to be overpowering the taste of the ale as an ale. And it is, there are some hops in the ale. It's a little bit. It's not really hoppy, but it's slightly hoppy. It's slightly. But and it's fairly carbonated. It's a little more carbonated than I thought. By looking at it, I thought it was medium carbonated. It's a little heavier carbonated than I thought it was going to be. But what I will say about it is that I'm not sure about this, whether I like this or not. Would I buy this again? And I did forget what I should have put up what I paid for it. I purchased this one at Trader Joe's, and let me see if I have the right. No, this is not the right receipt. Where's the correct receipt for it? Where is it? No, it's not that. It's not that. It's not that. I know I had it here somewhere. Let me see. I have to dig through these receipts. Oh, that's not it. Trader Joe's. That's not it either. And that doesn't even relate. There's not even beer on this thing. Okay, that's not it. I've got to go through all these receipts now. Here's another Trader Joe's receipt. I spend my evening looking through receipts. All right. I think this is it. Triple C Brewing. This is it. $4. Is that right? Yeah. I paid $4 for this can, for this pint. $4 I paid for this pint of ale. It tastes like a really sour Skittle, and I can't tell you which flavor. I guess you can throw a whole bunch of Skittles in your mouth and taste the rainbow, but and that's probably what this would taste like. I don't know. It's interesting. It's interesting. I can't say that I would buy any more. But it does explain something. It does. It definitely explains something. Okay, so this ale has been sitting down here for a few weeks. I saw this earlier during the season break. I saw this and I thought, okay, well, I'll try one of these. I'll review it on the show. Saw it, picked up Trader Joe's, $4 for the can. I only purchased one can, and I think it's a good thing I did. So you see where this review is going. So I only purchased one can, and I thought, well, my experience in the past is because a lot of these beers, are seasonal. The ciders and things like that, they're seasonal, and they're there one day and they're gone tomorrow. And I thought, well, I need to review this sooner rather than later, because if it turns out I really, really like this, the next time I go down there to Trader Joe's, it's going to be gone. This has been the case with a lot of the ciders. It's been the case with the raspberry cider and the blackberry crumble cider and of course I think was the other one that we tried last week or the week before. It was the cherry crumble cider. All three of which I thought were pretty good. And the next time I go to Trader Joe's to buy some more, they're not there anymore. They're gone. And because I go through them, and it's a seasonal thing. So I'm thinking, well, this is probably the case with this Rainbow Sherbet Ale. But the thing is, every time I went to Trader Joe's, after I purchased that initial can, every time I went there, I would still see cases of this stuff over there. And today, my lovely wife, she and I went down to Trader Joe's today, looking for foods for the show tonight, and I thought, well, surely this sherbet tasting ale was no longer going to be there. But no, I go there. It's like, now there's another one that we want to try. There's a stout in here I want to try. I'm probably going to open it up next week because we need to, because they're almost out of it. I went there and I was thinking, okay, well, I'm going to have to review this tonight because if I like it, it's going to be gone. But when I went over to Trader Joe's and I looked on the shelf, they still had a lot of this up there. Now, they were almost out of the stout that I'm going to try next week, but they had plenty of this, which tells me now that I've tried it, you can make your own inferences to that, whatever you want. You can draw your own conclusions from that, but it tells me that it's not moving. If you go there for 2 or 3 months and it's a seasonal drink and there's still cases of it there, that's a fairly good indication. One, either nobody's really discovered it yet, which I think is kind of hard to believe, especially at Trader Joe's, because I mean, let's face it, a lot of people who love alcohol go to Trader Joe's. I'm just saying, Trader Joe's has a fair amount of alcohol there. And nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with it at all. I'm just saying that if they've still have cases of this stuff over there and it's been 3 months, there's a pretty good chance it's not moving and nobody's drinking it. And it's probably a good reason for it. And after trying this one, I could pretty much say, for my own opinion, this is just my own opinion now, just an opinion, and nothing against Trader Joe's, nothing against Triple C or anything, because I've had some Triple C brews before, and they're pretty decent. But just saying that from my own See, I'm going to get myself in trouble here. I don't want to get in trouble. My own opinion, my unprofessional opinion, as an everyman who drinks like this, I can certainly see why. I don't like this ale. That's the bottom line. I don't like the ale. I'm sorry. It gets a thumbs down from me. Sorry, but that's how it is. Ed says awake, and I'm glad you are, Ed. You're probably doing better on this than I am right now. Let's see. Let's check the other chats here in just a moment. I think I might have accidentally closed one. I hope not. All right. We're good everywhere. Twitch is here. And Island Hayes says, one of my favorite beers is a seasonal brew only. It's called LSD, Lavender Sunflower. I'm going to read this in its entirety now. One of my favorite, Island Hayes says, one of my favorite beers is a seasonal brew only. It's called LSD, Lavender, Sunflower, and Date, by Indeed Brewing Company up in Minnesota. Only found it once, but I always look for it. I would like to try that. Lavender, I like lavender. I do like lavender. As a matter of fact, what was the? I just had. Oh yes, we had the lavender mead. Week before last, we opened up the season with the lavender mead, and I drank it out of this, what's now the official Drink with Rick mead horn. Yeah, it's the mead horn. And when you drink mead, you got to do it right. You gotta do it with gusto. You got to do it with feeling. You got to do it. Yeah, you got to be authentic. You have to. It has to be authentic. I try to be authentic, and that's what I was doing here with the mead horn. And we're going to do another mead too, as a matter of fact. Probably in the next 2 weeks, we're going to do another mead. I love mead. But Island Hayes, yeah, I'd like to find that. LSD, Lavender, Sunflower, and Date by the Indeed Brewing Company. Okay, I've got to write this down. I probably can't find it if it's only available in Minnesota. Well, maybe not. LSD. If I write this down and somebody comes in and sees it later, they're going to, what? Lavender, Sunflower, huh? That's interesting. And Date. Okay, here's the thing. I like dates. I do like dates. I like the taste of dates. But I can't really eat dates that much. Well, I can, but it's the pits that I don't like too much. I think I like dates, but I just don't like the pits. No, I'm thinking of, you know what I'm thinking of? I'm thinking of something else. All right, I try. Okay, I do like dates, but I don't have it that often, and for some people, dates are kind of an acquired taste too. Not everybody likes dates too much, but I do like them. I do like. There are a couple of fruits that I do like that I can't really eat anymore. Figs is one of them. Figs, now I'm going down the rabbit hole. I like figs, and who doesn't like fig Newtons, right? But I like figs a lot. The problem is the little seeds in the figs. The little seeds, I can't really ingest those. So I stay away from figs. So figs and dates, I could do dates. They're better. They're good for you. I'll have to say they're good for you. Sunflowers. That's interesting. That's an interesting taste. So, in a beer, sunflower in a beer. Wow, you know what? I'd try that. Why not? If I could try this rainbow sherbet, I could try. I could try that beer. Yeah, it's beer, and I don't want to waste it, because it's beer. But no, I think I'm done with the beer. I'm done with the beer. I'm done with the ale. Okay, rainbow sherbet. Yeah. I'm going to go there to Trader Joe's next week, and there's probably going to still be a couple of cases of this stuff over there. I'm just guessing, just my guess, but I think there is. There is one more thing I want to try, though, before we close up the show here. There is one more thing I want to try, and this one is one that is going to be a little bit different. This is a different kind of review. And let me pull this up. That wasn't what I want to pull up. Yeah. Now I'm just pushing buttons. Okay. Where's my? Here it is. That's not what I want to pull up either. See, half the show is me just trying to mess around with these buttons over here and hitting the wrong buttons all the time. Okay. We have one more thing to try. If I can pull it up. And, oh, yes, here it is. Because I didn't mark it. A few weeks ago, my lovely wife, she and I, went to the farmer's market. Now, she insisted that I had been to this farmer's market before, and I didn't recall going there before, but she insisted that I had, but it must have been years and years ago, because I don't really remember. Maybe those were some of the brain cells that died during one of these drinking games that I did a couple of years ago. But I'm referring to the holiday drinking games. Yeah. Never mind. So I went down there with her, and she had been there a couple of weeks prior to that, and she came across a meadery selling mead. And this was the Stardust Cellars Meadery. And they sold a number of different kinds of mead. She went down there with her sister, and who was visiting at the time, and was her sister? No, I'm sorry, I take that back. I had that incorrect. She went down there with our neighbor, and the two of them found this person selling mead, and she called me on the phone. She said, "Would you be interested in some of this mead?" And I said, "Okay, well, we could try a couple of bottles." So she brought back a couple of bottles, and one of them we tried on the show last week, or the week before last, and that was the lavender mead. Well, I went down there with her to check out the meadery. There were actually two mead sellers there and someone selling wine. And I went down there with her, and I met the lady there who was selling the mead, and a nice person. The Stardust Cellars Meadery. I have actually their one of their things right here, their flyers. Stardust Cellars Winery and Tasting Room, and they're a meadery. And I got to meet Connie. And Connie's name stuck in my mind because of my Aunt Connie. I haven't had an Aunt Connie. But anyway, we were talking about the meads, and she really wanted me to try the lavender mead and the traditional mead, which I have down here. We're going to try that in a couple of weeks. And while we were there, I purchased another mead from her that's in a can down there as well. We're going to try that in a few weeks. And while I was there, she said, what would you think about this, a soda, a honey soda? And I said, you have a honey soda? And she says, yes, we have a honey soda. It's a new product. We just came out with it. It's just brand new. We're not really promoting it yet, but we have this here. And she said, why don't you try this on your show? And I said, well, I don't know. I mean, it's honey soda. That's very different. I don't normally review sodas. And she says, no, I tell you what, I'll give you a can of this honey soda. You give it a review and tell me what you think of it. And I said, okay, sure. I mean, I was willing to pay for it, but she says, no, I'll just give this to you so you could give it a review. And that was really, really nice of her. And she did. She gave me a can of the soda. Now, you'll probably faint when I tell you what this can of soda cost. I was willing to pay for it, but she gave this one to me at no charge for the review. So to follow FTC regulations, those of you who don't know, the Federal Trade Commission regulations, I'm required to say that yes, I received a honey soda for a fair and honest review, for no cost, for a fair and an honest review. So, and that's what I'm going to do tonight. I'm going to give it a fair and an honest review. I have never tried this soda before. I've never even heard of honey soda before. So we're going to try it out. And I'm excited to try it. And we don't normally do this. It's a non-alcoholic soda. So all you kids have been tucked into bed and that your parents said, go to bed now because we're talking about alcohol, you can get up for a few minutes and watch this. If your parents say it's okay. I don't want to step on any toes here or anything like that. If your parents say it's okay, you can watch this. Okay, so here's what we have. This is a non-alcoholic honey soda. I kid you not, a honey soda. And I happen to have one, this one right here, the official Drink with Rick ice bucket. Now, here's the thing. I did not know if this needed to be chilled or not. I forgot to ask Connie that question, if it needed to be chilled or not. But I'm assuming that it can be chilled. So since I chilled everything else that we're trying tonight, I decided to go ahead and chill this as well. Now this is made by Stardust Cellars. I'll go back here to the photo. This is a non-alcoholic honey soda. Non-alcoholic honey soda by Stardust Cellars. I'm going to read. There's a back to this thing. I'm going to find the back of this thing. Here's the back. It does have a nutrition label, so we're going to go through this a little bit. Nutrition facts: that it's serving size 12 ounce. It's a one serving per container. Has 136 calories in this can, 12 ounce can. 14% total carbohydrates. Total sugars 39 grams, and no added sugar. Now, here are the ingredients. The ingredients are well water, raw honey, carbon dioxide, potassium sorbate, and potassium metabisulfate. And to be honest, I don't know what potassium metabisulfate is. But she is always telling me how I need more potassium in my diet, and so is the doctor. So I guess this can't be a bad thing, can it? Potassium? It's got potassium in it, so that's supposed to be a good thing. If I'm a little low on potassium, I need more potassium in my diet, so here you go. It's produced by Stardust Cellars, 4780 Statesville Road in North Wilkesboro, North Carolina, 28659. Yeah, I'm reading everything. This is This is actually made in the local North Carolina foothills. It's from raw honey from the North Carolina foothills. And there's 10% honey by volume. 10% HBV, I guess you could say. Honey by volume. It's not, there's no alcohol. So once again, it is non-alcoholic. It's from Stardust Cellars Winery and Tasting Room. Now, here is the thing. I'm going to go ahead and I've got another glass here for it. So we're going to go ahead and pour this in a glass. Honey soda. Wow, and it's pretty fizzy. So let's give this. Looking forward to trying this. Very interesting. I do not have an official Drink with Rick soda tasting notebook, nor do I plan to make one anytime soon. So we're just going to review it as is. And it does look it's very it's a little on the cloudy side. It's got which is not a bad thing. I mean, it's just not at all. Let's put it there close up. So this is honey soda. Interesting. All right. Before we get into everything else, let me check the chats. Let me think of, what do you think of a honey soda? Ed says, after the pirate captain tussled with the crocodile, where did he shop for a prosthesis? Well, let me read this again. Okay, I didn't want to mess this up. This is an Ed dad joke. Ed says, after the pirate captain tussled with the crocodile, where did he shop for the prosthesis? Second-hand store. That's a good one. That's a good one. Where did he shop for a prosthesis? The second-hand store. That's
I like it. Yeah, really neat.
All right, so what else is going on here? It's been quiet in the chats tonight. Let's see what's going on with Island Hayes. Island Hayes says, cheers to Fig Newtons. Yes, I agree. Cheers to Fig Newtons. I like Fig Newtons very much. Can't necessarily eat them anymore because of all the little tiny seeds. Island Hayes says it's worth it if you can find it. I'm gonna go look for it. I can't say I'm gonna find it, but I am gonna look for it because that sounds very interesting. LSD beer. That's something to review on the show. That's definitely something to review on the show. Might have to change the rating for the show for that episode. All right, let's review. Let's take a whiff of this honey soda. That's interesting. Let me get another whiff of that. Well, it's smells a little bit like honey. Let's give it a taste. Wow. I'm not sure if I can really aptly describe the taste. I don't know if I can really do that. It's pleasant taste. Now, here's the thing. I am a little biased here in the sense that I do like honey. I love honey, and honey is a very, very good natural sweetener. If you're going to go for a sweetener, go for honey. It's a natural sweetener, and it's actually much better for you, much much better for you as a sweetener than sugar, and definitely those artificial sweeteners. If you want to go the sweetener, stick with honey. That's much better for you. There are a lot of there are a lot of medical benefits to honey, or I don't know if I want to get in the weeds on that too much, because I know in some of the venues that I'm streaming to that the platforms might take offense to saying, hey, that's not you're not a medical professional. Okay, let's just say there are a lot of health benefits to honey. That's stated. There's no doubt about that's open, that's out there. You can look it up on Google, you can look up on Wikipedia and everything. There are many health benefits to honey. You've got an Amazon Echo at home or a Google Home or something, just say, hey, whatever, the ALEXA, whatever, Google, whatever. What are the benefits to honey? Are there benefits to honey? And they will, I know, I've done it. And so it's not, how should I put this? It's well known and well accepted that there are definite health benefits to honey. Okay? One of those health benefits, from what I understand, is that it's good for the gut. It helps aid in digestion. It's good for the gut. I know because I asked the ALEXA that very thing, and the ALEXA told me on numerous occasions that is the case. So, having said that, when it comes to sodas, I have a thing about sodas where I don't drink a lot of sodas. Now, I have done that from time to time, very rarely, and this is why we don't review sodas on the show, because by and large, I think sodas are bad for you. I really do. I think sodas are bad for you. Look, if you can dump a soda in your toilet and clean your toilet with you, or clean a toilet, that can't be good for your stomach. It just can't. I mean, that's just my opinion, and I'm not a professional. I'm not a doctor or anything like that. But if you can dump a soda, people have done experiments like the thing where they drop a tooth in the soda for overnight and gets dissolved and things like that. I can believe that stuff because it's mostly carbonated sugar syrup most of the time. And even the diet sodas, there's so many chemicals in the diet sodas. I generally don't recommend that. I would rather have a half a bottle, I'd rather have a whole can of this, which I don't particularly like, to be honest, the Rainbow Sherbet Ale, than to have a half a can of a diet soda, because I don't think this is bad for you, really, if you're drinking in moderation. If you only drink half of it because you don't like it anyway, then it's not going to really hurt you. But the sodas, they can do some damage, I think, in the long run. They have linked diabetes to soda. They have linked a lot of ailments to sodas, stomach ailments and things like that, things with problems with the gut and things like that. I'm not a big soda person. Having said that, we're reviewing a honey soda. Now, what's the difference between a Coke and a okay, I don't want to mention specifics. I shouldn't. I'm going to have to strike that later. What's the difference between some of these commercially available sodas and this honey soda? I just read the ingredients to you. And having tasted this soda, I can say I like this soda. I do like this soda. And I think it's a lot healthier than most other sodas out there. It tastes more natural. It tastes healthier. It has a pleasant taste to it. It's not bad. It's a little bit, I'd say it's a little bit more raw, a little bit coarser. I don't know if I can really translate that too well, but it's it's different. It's a very different taste, but it's actually not a bad taste, and it's a little bit sweet. It's not super syrupy sweet at all. It's a lightly sweet, but it's actually a pleasant taste. I like the soda. I could drink this again. Yeah, it kind of reminds me a little bit. It's sort of like a lemonade, like a honey lemonade. I don't taste any lemon. Well, did it say anything about lemon in it? Let me see. I don't remember now. Go back and look. I don't think it did. I could be wrong, but I don't think it did. Did it say anything about... Let's see, ingredients. Well water, raw honey, carbon dioxide, potassium sorbate, and potassium metabisulfate. Okay, there's no lemon in this that I can tell, but it kind of has a natural lemonade flavor. Now, when I mean natural lemonade flavor, I mean not lemonade with sugar, lemon water and sugar in it, but lemon water and honey in it. And I have had... in fact, if I was sick or something, I would have a little honey and lemon. This kind of reminds me a little bit of the honey and lemon concoction I would have if I had a sore throat or something. It tastes a little bit of that, but carbonated. As a matter of fact, that's kind of what it does remind me of. It kind of reminds me of a lemon honey concoction that you would make if you had a sore throat or something, but carbonated. And having said that, I like the taste. I do like this. It's good. It's good. Now, having said that, I have to tell you what it costs. This 12-ounce can of honey soda, as I understand it, from what Connie told me, from the Stardust Winery, from the meadery, this 12-ounce can of honey soda, wait for it, cost $5. I kid you not. It cost $5, and I thought, wow, that's not cheap. That is not cheap, but it's pricey. Okay, $5 for a 12-ounce can of soda is. I don't know. It's something that gives you pause to think about. But let me explain something here about that. That's my understanding. That's what I recall she said was $5 for this can. Now, having said that, let me explain something about honey. You know how many bees it takes to make just a few ounces of honey? It takes a lot of bees. I had a jar of honey that was like a 12-ounce jar of honey, and according to what I did research on, it took over 1,100 to 1,200 bees just to make a little bit of that jar. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, yeah, this is $5 for this can of soda, but you really it's 10% honey in this 12-ounce can. You're still thinking it took a lot of bees to make that honey. And bees in these days are a little bit in short supply. Honey is a little bit more of a luxury especially than it used to be, because there's kind of a shortage of bees these days. So having said that, I realize and I can appreciate the fact that honey is not cheap. That's why mead is very expensive. That little bottle of mead that we reviewed a couple of weeks ago was $10. A bigger bottle of mead that's something like more in the lines of the 750 milliliter bottle is going to be 2 to 3 times that. That's why mead is not. I think that's why a lot of people don't drink mead, because it's very expensive. But having said that, there's a reason for that, and that's because honey is a premium product. Honey is expensive. It's not cheap. To make drinks out of honey is even though it's much better for you, more organic most of the time. It's going to be kind of an expensive and the process for doing this is going to be there's a lot to it. So I do appreciate the fact that it's $5 a can. Not something I would drink every day, although I think I'd kind of like to because it's pretty good. And I could drink this in the evening. I could see that as a drink to have before going to bed in the evening to help the gut a little bit. That's just my personal take. But I do think that it's worth it. I'd like to see it at $2.50 a can, probably. All right. But look at this. I spent $4 on this Rainbow Sherbet beer. I spent $4 on this Rainbow Sherbet beer, which is more. It's a whole pint, as opposed to this 12-ounce can of honey soda. I spend almost as much on this Rainbow beer, and I like this a lot better. So you're going to pay a little bit more for something that's going to taste better, I'm just saying. Ed says, did you hear about the snowman that went crazy? All right, folks, you ready? Anybody else hear this? You hear about the snowman who went crazy? I don't have a good thing for this. Where am I? I can't find it. There we go. What is this? Oh. It says, did you hear about the snowman that went crazy? It was a real meltdown. I like that. It's a good one. That's a good one. I would have done the laughter, but I like that one. Maybe it's the wine. I know it's not the honey talking because there's no alcohol in that. It says, why did the kid keep jumping on the waterbed? He had heard it was filled with spring water. Oh, that should have gotten... I don't even know why I'm laughing at that one. It's more like... yeah. All right, so let's see what's going on elsewhere in the chats here. Island Hayes says, cheers to Fig Newtons. I read that. Okay. All right, well, I think it's time. Okay, we did this. I'm going to do a final review of the wine. I think we lost our feed on Rumble for some reason. I don't know what's going on with that. I think something's happening with Rumble over there. We're still live on Odyssey. There you go. So anyway, it's about time to close it up for tonight, I think. But and I didn't want to go too long with it because I've got a long day ahead of me tomorrow. But I did want to say this final review of the wine. Final review of the wine. This is what we're drinking tonight. It's a Bordy, and it's a Chambourcin-Merlot, pronounced Chambourcin-Merlot. This is a 2022 vintage. A little bit on the sweet side. It is a little bit on the sweet side. Normally, I'm not really a big sweet wine person, but I kind of do like this one. It's very smooth drinking. I think this is a pretty decent dessert wine. It goes good. It went well with the regular plain meatball. Not so much with the meatball with the tomato sauce. I don't think this is a spaghetti kind of wine, just personally. But it went okay with with some of the cheese. not all of it, but I think it's really more of a dessert wine, just hanging around, drinking with friends kind of wine. But it's not bad. It's a decent wine. It's a good wine. It goes down easy, and it has a fairly nice finish, and it has a very lingering finish. I'll say that, and it's mostly cherry, some cherry and raspberry. I was getting in there. I wasn't getting a whole lot of any, maybe a little bit oaky, but it's mostly just cherry and raspberry. But it's a kind of sweetness kind of takes it. It sort of, it has some tannin in it, but I can't really tell how much because the sweetness in the wine kind of took over the tannins, I think, for me, to be honest. But it's not a bad wine at all. It's a pretty decent wine, and I really don't know what it costs. The median price was $13 to $20. This was a gift, and it was a nice gift, and I really appreciate it. And to Mark and Junie, I want to say thank you very, very much. I really, really appreciate the gift. It was a really nice gift, and I want to say if I've got something here that I can, yes, here we go. I like it.
Oh, there you go. Oh, wow, that's a good one.
Hole in one. Thank you very much. The beer, the Rainbow Sherbet Ale. The Rainbow Sherbet Ale, I was not crazy about, and this is it right here. Where is it? Rainbow Sherbet Ale. I don't know. I didn't like this. It's a little bit. It's sour. It's a little on the sour side, but it tastes like a sour rainbow Skittles. A bunch of rainbow Skittles in your mouth. But that was sour. But it didn't really do much for me. I didn't like it. I'll just be honest. It was not my first choice. On the other hand, the soda, the honey soda. I very much like the honey soda. This is the front of the can. And this is kind of, I guess, this is a new product. They're just trying this out now, but I really do like this, and I would recommend this, definitely. And it just kind of tastes healthy. It just tastes healthier than drinking a regular soda. So those are my final reviews on all of those. And I think it's about time to close it up. But did we miss anything? Let me see. I don't think we missed anything, did we? I was actually going to show a clip of the Attack of the Bubble Creatures, but I didn't get to do that tonight. Oh, there is one thing. Tasting the maple nuts. My good friend Jaycon gave me a nice gift. These maple nuts, and I was going to try them on the show tonight, but to be honest, I think I'm going to wait till next week for two reasons. One, I don't see him here this week, and the other reason is because I don't think I have anything that's going to fit pairing the nuts with. I think I'm going to try this next week when I've got something, maybe a different wine that might go really good with these mixed nuts. So we're probably going to do that next week. And Ed says, if I can, get there again. I read that one already. Spring water. By the way, this says well water in here. I hope it was a good well. I've had well water in the past, and it was not very good water. Some of the well water, I don't know if I would put well water on this can. That's the only thing about the honey soda. It says well water, but to be honest, I have mixed emotions about well water, because a lot of my experiences with well water are that it's a little bit more sulfuric. You get the sulfur in there, the rotten egg taste. I understand not all well water is like that, but some is. And when somebody says to me well water, that's generally the first thing that comes to my mind is it's sulfuric. It's sulfur water. It tastes like, rotten eggs. I don't want to drink well water, but there's a lot of well water that's good. It's just, I don't know if I would put well water in there. I would just put water in there. I don't know, because well water means different things to different people. That's my only quibble about this honey soda. My only quibble about it, and it's not much of a quibble really, because it's good. But that is my fair and honest review. I'd say take out the well water if you can. You just put water or something. All right, so I guess that'll do it for the show tonight. Alan Hayes says Jaycon is on vacation this week and next. Oh, well, it's good to know. Thanks for letting me know, Alan Hayes. I'll tell you what, when he gets back this week and next, that'll put us at right about the holidays, right? Right about Thanksgiving. I do want to make a mention, and we'll probably review it then, though. We'll check them out, taste them then. Let me know if you can. I do want to tell you what our itinerary is. These are the plans here for the next few weeks, because we're coming up into the holiday season. Next week, the 23rd, I believe, right? Yeah. Next week, that's the weekend before Thanksgiving. So we're going to be reviewing. I have a different wine I'm going to be reviewing. This is going to be very interesting. I have that already set to go here. I'm going to try that wine out. Thanksgiving, we are doing a special. We're doing a 1-hour Thanksgiving special on Thanksgiving Day. That's the 28th, November 28th. We typically do this every season. We do a Thanksgiving special. It's just a 1-hour special. We're going to review a little bit of wine and just sit around and talk about what we're thankful for and just reflect a little bit. That's all. And then that coming Saturday, we're going to do the regular Saturday Night Wine Stream, which I believe is on the 30th of November. Then we get right into the holidays. So I hope you'll join me for that. That's going to be fun. We're going to have a good time then, and may show another film or two, another short film, and we'll have some fun there. Also, I know that as we're getting closer to wrapping up the Wine Stream. Pretty much the series. I'm going to give you more and more information about what future plans are and things like that. Now, we're not, as I said before, we're not ending the Drink with Rick. There'll still be reviews and things. They just won't be. There'll be more videos and not so much the Wine Stream. The Wine Stream is just very, very expensive to do. It's very time consuming for all the production stuff that I have to do on it. But that doesn't mean that I'm not streaming anymore. It means that I'll be doing a couple of new and exciting things streaming that I think is going to appeal more towards the general public and not just the drinking public. And as we get further along into it, as we get closer to the last shows, I'll be giving you more insights into what that's going to be and tell you how you can watch and be a part of it. And I think you'll be excited. I think you'll like it. I'm pretty excited about it. So I hope you join me for all of that. In the meantime, I want to thank everybody for being here with me tonight, who's joined me, and especially those who joined me watching and just didn't jump in, but were watching. And thanks for being here. I appreciate it. I appreciate each and every one of you. Ed's got one more dad joke here. Ed says, "You heard of the doctor who fell into the well and drowned?" I'm taking a chance on this one, aren't I? Ed says, "You heard of the doctor who fell into the well and drowned? People say he needed to tend to the sick and leave the well alone." Good one, Ed. I'll just sit here and drink my honey soda. That was good. I liked it. So anyway, where were we? That was great. I liked that one. That was a good joke. We'll have more dad jokes next week too. I hope we'll. Island Hayes says, thanks, Rick. Have a great night. And you too, Island Hayes. And I want to thank Island Hayes for joining me on the show tonight, and my good friend Ed for being here on the show tonight. My lovely wife, Chi, as well. And everyone watching on Twitch who did not jump in the chats, but were watching, those who were watching on Rumble and on Odyssey and on X. Thank you for being here. I appreciate each and every one of you. With that being said, I would like to bring out one more celebrity for tonight. I think you know who he is your friend and mine, the official mascot of Drink with Rick on the Saturday Night Wine Stream, and he is none other than Roadkill Bill. Roadkill Bill gets applause. Look at that, Bill. Official mascot of Drink with Rick. And why is he the official mascot of Drink with Rick? Because he has a very special message for all of us. Because he's Roadkill Bill. And he has a very special message. And his message is, please do not drink and drive. Drink in the comfort of your home, your apartment, your hotel room, your dwelling. Drink there. And if you have to go somewhere, call an Uber, call a Lyft, call a cab, call a friend. Or just stay put. It's really best to stay put. It's safer that way. Don't put yourself at risk, and don't put others at risk. Like Bill here, who's Roadkill Bill. Please don't text and drive either, because that's also very, very dangerous. Because I want you to have a great week. But most of all, I want you to have a safe week. So you can join me here again next week on the Saturday Night Wine Stream, and we can all get together and drink with Rick. Good night.